So I will move on to the conference portion, conference awards. So for our conference friends, we have a custom award system in the CMS to move all of your awards solutions online. As a former SID myself, this is something I've been pretty passionate about and involved with since we built the platform out originally. I'm happy to say we've made a ton of updates and enhancements in the last 6 months, and I'm going to run through some of those features with you and then talk through some other updates we have coming down the road. Actually, first I wanted to address 2 issues that have been fixed in the system and were affecting most of our conference partners. Awards at some point were not automatically moving to the next scheduled stage, and scheduled releases were not posting at the scheduled time. These 2 items were actually related and were fixed by moving all of the timed or syncing functionalities like those 2 features to their own dedicated servers. So we apologize again for any inconveniences that those may have caused, but we addressed the issue as soon as we could, and that is now fixed. So let me get into some enhancements to show you. First thing I want to show you, and actually let me log out here. Sign out. First thing I want to show you is that we enhanced our password reset feature. Because we're no longer allowed to store passwords. If a coach or a user forgets their password, they can click the Forgot My Password button, and that will send a unique password directly to their email. Why don't I go ahead and show you that? They'll just put in their email that they're using, and then it will send an email directly to them. And then once they log in, they will now have this change my password button where they can click that and manually change it to something that they can remember. So they should not need to be emailing into the admins to have those reset or if they've forgotten those in the future. So now that we're logged in, you'll see our new look to our voter and nominating page. We gave this page a facelift and made it a little more responsive than it had been in the past for easier use on smaller devices. So your nominators and voters will find it a lot easier to use, and it really should cut down on questions again back to you guys, to the admins. The first new feature I want to show you is that we added a comment tool for you to be able to comment to your voters' selections. So how this works is, this is in a voting stage, and I'm an admin. I'm checking out the vote. I can look at the details. I can see that maybe it was they had an incomplete ballot, or they did something wrong. Maybe they ranked a player ahead of a player they shouldn't have. I can click on the comment, add comment. Add a comment, click add, and then it will be emailed to your voter, as well as they can log into the system. They'll be able to view all the comments that had been made. They can add a comment back directly from here, or they can come back and fix it. And all of these are tracked through the system on both the admin and the nominators and voters side. So really just a way to use the system for better communication and more efficiently. The next feature I'm really excited about and is brand new. It was released just last week, so we definitely would like some feedback as you play around with it. This is our newest feature, which allows you to promote winners from one award into another award without having to renominate. So for example, we host the D2 CCA awards that do region awards and then national awards within our system. So you can now select the winners from your regional awards, set up a new national award, and pull those regional winners in as nominations. So the nominators from the new national award will be able to log in and edit their current nominations to add maybe any new honors, but will not need to go through the whole nomination process again. So let me show you how that would work. So when I click add, you do need to create the promote a winner's award from scratch. That's not something you can copy from a previous existing award. So I'm going to do field hockey because it's the best sport ever. I'm quickly gonna just run through the setup to show you this, but I'll go slower the next time. So we have this promote winners. Would you like to promote winners from previous awards? So I'm gonna check that box. And I'm going to pick my field hockey. I'm just gonna grab any conference here. Dates for statistics, I'm just gonna leave that blank to grab all stats. So this is a promote winner page. So what you do is if any award that's using the same award type, for example, this was a field hockey award, you can search by date for all the awards that happened in that specific date range that you want to include in this award. So when I click the search button, I already have this, this winner from, it was a conference champion, this winner that I picked out. So I'm gonna click that. And then when I go to next step, I'm gonna finish setting up my award. Voting. And finish setting up my award. Once I save it, I'm going to start nominating. And you will see that there is already a nomination in here that was pulled in from that award that we had pulled into this award. And you can see too, when I refresh my login page, if I were to log in as a nominator, I will see that my nomination was already made. I can click update and make any changes, add any honors or anything else going forward. So pretty cool to keep streamlined events going forward and being able to pull those awards into another. Katie, do we have any questions so far? Should I pause now or just keep going?
Admin who doesn't see the awards tab when logged into their website.
Yeah, that would mean they probably don't have awards. Awards is an add-on product. Sorry, I probably should have gone over that originally. Awards is an add-on product, and if they do want to add that, they can email me directly or our care team, and we can get that set up for them.
Okay, great. Those are the only questions so far.
Okay. A couple of things, one other thing I wanted to mention with the promotion of awards is you do need to use after you've completed an award, you do need to use that select tool to finalize it, which moves it into archive. That's the only way it will show a winners tab that the award will pull from having a finalized winner. Again, if anyone has any questions on that, feel free to email me directly and I'm happy to walk through that again. Another new feature I want to show you is what we're calling our ranking tool, which is in this current release now. The type of award being used in this example is a team poll. So once you have voted, this is a poll I set up, nominated, I already voted on this, and then I selected the winners. So I have this winners tab here. You have these two buttons, publish rankings to team and publish award results to website. And if I were to click publish rankings to team, this will store historical rankings and we'll be able to show past weekly rankings for polls going forward if you're doing weekly rankings. For example, how this could be used on D3 Sports or the NJCAA. That portion, the historical rankings section, is still in development, so I can't actually show you what that will look like, but hopefully we will have that released in the next week or so. This is publish award results to a website. So what this does will publish this specific award directly to your website as a page. So when I click this button, select the section you want to see this in. I'm just going to do the root directory. And in the root directory, there will now be a new page called Preseason Field Hockey Poll. And you see the preseason field hockey poll, and then it automatically published the rankings for that week. So again, something that any weekly rankings would be helpful for that, or even your preseason rankings, you could use that and quickly publish a link and have a link available to all of your preseason rankings. Any questions yet, Katie?
No new questions.
Okay, so now I'm going to build a new award and just kind of show you all the other features we've added to help with some checks and balances and voter restrictions. And I'll build this one slow just to remind you of some features we have available that you may or may not be utilizing already. So I'm going to, again, with awards, you have the option to create from scratch. You can copy an existing award by choosing an award that you have, and you'll see when you click that button, you're just changing the name and the dates and any other extra features you want. But the voting list and the nominating list would all stay the same. You can also bulk copy an existing award. So if I click on bulk copy, I can set up one Player of the Week award for the whole season. And then I can go in here and do a start date, number of days nominating 4, number of days voting 2, and generate a whole, 8 weeks of awards all set up. You can, edit any times, voting period, edit the name and everything to have these all set up at the beginning of the year and never have to worry about that. So 3 ways to create an award. I'm going to create from scratch to kind of walk you through some of our new features. I'm choosing field hockey because it's the best. We have this option for statistics awards. It's a system provided template. So all of the fields are fixed, but we do give you the option to add a custom field. If you wanted to maybe collect someone's major or anything like that, you can add a field here, and that will become part of your nominating and voting page. Let me set up my nominating times. Again, it'll ask you if this will be voted on by individuals other than the award administrator. So if you have a voting list, yes. If you as the admin will be picking the Player of the Week, you would hit no. And again, we just went over promote winners. Field hockey, because it's the best. I will go with a CAC. And again, the dates, if you leave it open, it'll just automatically pull in all of the stats up to the point that the award was created. Or obviously, if you're doing weekly stats, you want to filter this between specific dates. We also give you the option to choose all of these different logs, game logs, or conference summary, or a combination of both. So I'm just going to do overall summary. I'm going to add my list. Here is where you would mark to, if you'd like to receive an email as an admin of all of the nominations that come in, you can check that box to receive those. We also have 3 boxes to check to send reminders when they're open 24 hours before they close and 1 hour before they close. And again, these will only go to folks on your list that have not nominated or voted. So you're not spamming everyone who's been doing their job properly. Voting, let me pick my date. Here is where you set up the weights and how you want to rank your teams. So if you're just doing a player of the week, you have 1 selection, 1 point. If you're doing a basketball all conference team, you might have 5 players and on the first team and worth maybe 10 points each, and then 5 going down the grid. You can set that up however you want. Here are some examples over to the right too to help you with that. And then going down here, once you have it set, I'm just doing a conference player of the week for this. You have this restriction to voters cannot vote for someone they nominated unless you allow it. Because I'm the only one on the list right now, I'm just going to allow that. Then we have 2 new features. Cast all votes. So when this is enabled, vote cannot be submitted if ballot is incomplete. So this is something that's been requested for some time. We made this optional. What this means is you will not be able to complete and to submit an incomplete ballot. So if you missed a player in if you have 15 slots for 3 basketball teams and you miss 1 player, your vote won't be able to go through. The reason we have it as optional is because there are instances when we're doing position awards, maybe for, catcher of the year, and there's only 3 nominees, but all coaches vote, but then all coaches can't vote for their own player, then we have to allow a coach to submit a ballot with 2 players because he can't vote for his own. So those would just be one of the instances where you would not want that enabled. And then lastly, locking votes. So this is something, if you choose to set this up, when a vote is submitted, it'll automatically lock the vote. And so when a person comes back in to log in, they will no longer see that vote button there because I can still vote and then change my vote at any time. So that will lock in their votes. Next step.
One quick question we had on that. Can you change whether you lock or not throughout the award?
Yeah, and I'll show you that at the very end. Once you complete the award or at any stage you're in, you can edit your settings to the end and either lock or unlock. And the admin automatically has the ability to override that unlock if they need to change that as well. This is the voter selections. Again, emails to admins, these 3. Oh, one thing I did want to mention is when you do complete a vote, you automatically get an email confirming that vote. We actually now have a confirmation email on your nominations. We didn't used to have that, but this should cut down on a lot of emails to the admins. Hey, did you get my nominations? Because they will automatically be emailed back to your nominees as well. So again, here's some reminders here. This is where you would set your comments if you want to allow comments to go back and forth on your voting panel. That's where you would set that up. We're only doing a all conference player. This is a new feature as well, where we can remove the outliers. This is kind of like Olympic ranking, where you take the highest judge points out and the lowest points out. You can remove those. So it wouldn't be used that often, but it's for I think the NAIA and the NJCAA will be using that a lot for their types of rankings. So I'm going to save this award, review the details here, click save again. And now when I go in, this is where I was explaining where you can configure if you decide that you want to edit your times to open an award sooner, or if an award ended for nominations, but you need to leave it open longer, you can click edit times and change when something is open and closed. You can at any time edit teams if you missed a team in your award. You can edit rules. If you forgot you had you're picking 2 players this week for some reason, or however you wanted to edit that. Fields, you can just edit the field that will display at the top of the ballots for the administrators. You can edit your stats view. I had overall summary. Maybe I meant to put game and overall summary. Communication settings, this is where you can edit to check or uncheck reminders, and you can allow, if you forgot that you do want to allow comments, you can edit that there to add comments. And then you can email, at any time you can email nominators and email voters, and again, those are just going to the lists associated with this award. And that is pretty much it as far as the new features that are live now. Did we have any? Oh, one of the other things I do want to show you is you can now export your votes. Sorry, I missed this one. When I click export, it created an XML document. Let me open that here. And it will show you, you can pretty much print out an entire voting grid. That one's not good because I don't have any actual votes, but let me see if I can find one that has votes. Export votes. And yeah, it'll show everybody who voted, how they voted, and you can use that information as you would under the, something we had similar to nominators but did not have on the voting side yet. Any other questions, Katie, before I get into some new features?
Question on how do I create lists for my nominators and voters?
That's done in the contacts tab. In our care team, we have a ton of links in our help center to do that. You want to import all your contacts first, click into lists, add list. And then, well, you could either do it 2 ways. You can then go into the list and then import emails into it, import contacts into it, or you can go to your contacts and import a group of contacts and add them to a list that you just created. So it's very simple and very easy to keep things organized for those specific lists that you need. And again, our care team can walk you through that at any point to help set those up.
Okay, great. No further questions at this time.
Okay, great. So let's go into our more to come. So first one on the list, voting tool rebuild. We are currently in the process of just revamping the whole voting tool, again, to make it more responsive and user-friendly. So that's probably going to take some time, but hopefully will be complete at some point this season. We're adding more sorting tools. So currently we allow for sorting by fields on the networked awards and are working to do something similar on custom awards. So again, in addition to having stats awards, we also have a whole list of custom awards that you can use and customize to your needs at any time. And we're hoping to be able to sort, when you go to vote, sort those awards as well by certain fields. Tiered sorting. So we're working on a tiered or multi-column method of sorting. So for example, in a stats award, you can sort by class, and then maybe you would like to sort within that class by position. So we're going to try and tier that type of sorting in those stats awards. Preserve coaches' rankings. This has been requested a few times. When you use the coaches ranking feature and coaches rank their players, 1 through 5 when they nominate, we're putting in restrictions to not allow a player from the same team to be nominated above a ranked player. So a player that's number 3 by their coach could not be ranked higher than the player ranked number 1, meaning the ballot won't be able to be submitted, and they'll get an error saying you cannot rank so-and-so ahead of so-and-so, and here's why. The ability to add attachments, that's something we hear a lot as well. This will include documents like Word docs, XMLs, I believe, if needed, and then images, of course. And then just some bug fixes. For example, it was brought up to me recently that in the game log of a voting tool, when you're looking at the game log in nominations and voting, that when a game is in overtime, OT is not actually showing in that game log. So that's something that we are addressing, and any of those other little bugs that might come up, please email our care team or myself directly and let us know so we can get on those immediately. So I appreciate everyone joining me today, and as I mentioned, I'm really excited about the direction awards is moving in, and I'm going to help and continue to enhance this feature as much as possible. If you are interested, if you don't have awards and are interested, please either email me directly or our care team. Our care team can be reached at web@prestosports.com, or I am at annmarie@prestosports.com, ANNMARIE. Are there any final questions, Katie?
Awards for sports that don't have stats, such as cross country.
Yep, those would use custom awards. And let me show you an example of what those look like. So when you go into an award to add a new award, we have this whole list of custom awards that we've created. So you can go in and find a maybe cross country runner, newcomer of the year, name it your conference, name it whatever you want. And then use those fields. So what you would do is go on into this forms link, and you can actually view what these will look like before you choose them, and then you can choose them. And then if this has everything you need, except you want to include someone's major or something like that, you can email our care team or myself, and we can customize that award specifically for you. And then your custom award would then become part of this list as well.
Great. No other questions right now.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing else, thanks again, everyone, for joining us. And I hope you had a great week, and I hope you have a great weekend, and keep in touch.